Welcome back. In this section, we'll talk about the importance of translating a need into a requirement. Stakeholders in an organization speak different languages. While the language of customers is filled with their business outcomes, sales team language is filled with deals, discounts, and pipeline. Engineering team language is filled with technical jargons. It is therefore the responsibility of a product manager to either receive information or provide information in the language that each stakeholder understands. I have spoken extensively about needs until now because I have been talking all along from the context of customers. Customers only understand the need. Need, in simple terms, is the outcome that customers desire. However, outcomes alone do not add any meaning to engineering team. For engineering team, product manager should translate the need into requirements by adding appropriate product jargons. While need outlines the desired business outcome for the customer, requirement outlines what changes should be done to the product to deliver those outcomes. A need is any customer business challenge, a pain point, or the desired business outcome. It can also be referred to as jobs to be done framework. While a requirement is a need when translated into a form understandable by the engineering team. The need outlines why do customers need something. The requirement outlines what does a customer need, and finally, functional spec outlines how to deliver the request of customers. Let me pick an example. I was managing a product targeted for internet service providers. A classic need that I often hear from my customers is the ability to monetize subscribers' traffic as their revenues were flattening and costs were escalating. It is a need. It just outlines the business outcome and why behind the customer request. While a requirement outlines specific features or solutions when added to the product will help internet service providers to monetize their subscriber traffic. For example, should I build some capability on the product to provide better insights about the subscribers that internet service providers can use the data for better marketing campaigns and conceive additional services? Five Eyes framework that I elaborated in earlier section will outline what is causing the actual need. But when the need is translated into requirements, product manager has to provide some context to conceive the right solution. Let me pick an example of a need, the need for a shopping cart. Understanding why we need a shopping cart can still leave us with lots of possibilities for a shopping cart. Five Eyes, even though it provides some context, it might not be enough to deliver an appropriate solution. Hence, the necessity to determine the context because context can help us derive the right solution. But what is a context? A context defines the circumstances that form the setting for a need. Basically, it outlines the entire environment in which the product operates. The framework to derive the context is 5 Ws and a H. 5 Ws and a H framework expect product manager to ask why, what, who, when, where, and how. Why does a customer need the requested change? What customers would accomplish with the proposed change? When would customers use it? Where would customers use it? Who will use the requested functionality? And how they desire to use it. The context would define whether customers require a shopping cart in a hypermarket or a supermarket or in a place like IKEA. The context will also define who are the customers who will use the shopping cart. Is it some elderly citizen or someone with an infant child? Accordingly, it can facilitate product manager to conceive the right solution. See you in the next session to talk about the product prioritization process. Thank you. See you soon.